Welcome back, loyal Egyptologists, to our ongoing weekly series, Doodling with Purpose, learning Egyptian hieroglyphs week by week from home. And even though many of us can now leave our homes, well, it's still time to keep learning. And today we're taking a big step. We are going to learn the entire offering formula, which you pretty much already know. And while it can be a little intimidating to see it on a Stella in a museum or in this graph I pulled off the internet, but these are copies of Stellas from museums, we're going to break it up word by word and go in order, and we're going to get through this. So here is the offering formula, but before we jump in, two quick extra words to learn. The first is ima, that can be written in a variety of ways. It's the spinal cord just without the extra loop on the left side, so you already know how to write it from writing single or double consonants. So it can be written in a variety of ways, but it's always pronounced ima, and it means venerable one, revered one, or honorable one. It can have an I at the beginning, it can have two I's at the end, but pretty much anytime you see this glyph, that's what it means. The second one is Osiris, which is written with the stairwell and then the I glyph. This is not pronounced Osiris, but when you see it, it's sort of the shortcut. Sometimes you'll see it with a determinative of a man like that, or rather the king, not just a man, but a king. It's kind of like in Hebrew how this word means Adonai, even though it's not pronounced Adonai, it's pronounced Chayi. So when you see the steps, the I, and the man, that means Osiris, and it's just one of those things to memorize. It is no way pronounced like Osiris, but it is. All right, so understanding Osiris and revered one, let's jump in and go word by word through the offering formula and dissect this. The first thing we're going to do is I've divided it up by words here so that we can break it down, and that's how we're going to do it. It's best to always tackle by words as opposed to just jumping straight in and reading across. All right, so first off we have Chatip Dai Nesut, which you recall is an offering which the king gives, right? We did that one. And then you have Osiris, the steps and the eye. So an offering in which the king gives to Osiris. Now we have Nub Deju, which Nub, when it is before a word, means Lord, and because we see the symbol for a place, we know this is the town of Deju, so Lord of Deju. And now we have Neter Ah, which we may not have done that word, that means great, Neter Ah, so great. Now we have Neb, again, Lord, of Abydos. Again, we see the determinative for a place, for a town. All right, second line, we have he gives, die equals F, he gives. And now we see a voice offering, chatipper, to chumut. Now we see that we have an ox, fowl, alabaster, and linen. So chatipper, to chumut, ka, apid, sh, muchut. A voice offering. Then the third line down, chut nib, and if nib comes at the end instead of the beginning, it's thing, so everything. Nefer, wa'ab, good and pure. Ankh, neferim, on which a god may live. You'll recall that from last week. So everything good and pure on which a god may live. You'll see this as a full sentence or phrase quite often on Stella. So again, it's good to sort of memorize this combination of glyphs because you're going to see it quite often and it shows up in almost all. All right, now we have nekane for the ka of, and there's that new word we learned, ima. So when you say ima, whether the I is at the beginning or the end, different ways of spelling it, but anytime you see that particular glyph, revered one. And then here at the very end, this is just going to be pronounced phonetically, because you haven't seen this word before. Ki, k, the basket, and then I, ki. And you're probably saying, well, I don't know that word. That's because it's a proper name. And it makes sense because you're saying the revered one, Ki. His name is Ki. So that is the entire offering formula. Chatip Nai Niswit Osiris, Nub Jaju, Neda Ab Abudu, Dai equals F, Chatipper Hanki Adib Sh Ma'at, Nichan Ima Ki. And that is the entire offering formula. You just made it through one of the standard but still difficult sentences. The full sentence in English: an offering that the king makes to Osiris, Lord of Deju, great Lord of Abydos. May he give a voice offering of bread, beer, ox, fowl. It actually should be linen and alabaster. I swapped that. Everything good and pure on which a god may live for the ka of the revered one, Ki. Awesome, great job. Go through this one a few times. Pause it if you need to. And if you can understand each of those words, you are really making huge progress. Pour yourself a nice cold one, whether it's water or beer or fruit punch, whatever is your drink of choice. Congratulations, you should feel great, and I'll see you next week. Do give this series a like and a subscription because it tells YouTube to share this with more people, and that's sort of the whole point, is to share fun knowledge. It's how their algorithm works. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next week.